Ever wondered how to survive the relentless conditions of a desert? You're in the right place. Welcome to our ultimate guide on mastering the art of desert survival. This fascinating journey will equip you with the knowledge and skills necessary to conquer one of the most formidable landscapes on Earth. The desert, a vast expanse of sandy dunes and scorching sun, presents an intriguing challenge for adventurers. Its captivating beauty conceals the harsh reality of survival. With extreme temperatures that can swing from blistering heat during the day to freezing cold at night, it's a place that demands respect and preparation. Add to that the scarcity of water, the most vital resource, and you have a setting where survival hinges on the ability to adapt and endure. But the desert is not just a land of extremes, it's a region of unpredictability. Sandstorms can spring up without warning, transforming the serene landscape into a whirlwind of chaos. These unpredictable weather patterns can disorient even seasoned explorers, making navigation a complex task. Yet the desert, with all its challenges, holds a certain allure for those with a spirit of adventure. It's an environment that tests your limits, pushes your boundaries, and rewards your efforts with stunning vistas and a sense of accomplishment that's hard to match. In this guide, we'll delve deep into the secrets of desert survival. We'll explore techniques to find water in this arid land, strategies to secure food, and methods to construct a shelter that can withstand the desert's harsh conditions. We'll also discuss essential gear and equipment that can mean the difference between a successful adventure and a disastrous expedition. Our seasoned adventurers will share their wisdom and expertise, providing practical advice and invaluable tips. Whether you're a novice explorer or a veteran adventurer, this comprehensive guide is tailored to equip you with the knowledge to not just survive, but to thrive in the desert. So, are you ready to take on the challenge? Are you prepared to conquer the magnificent desert landscape? Stay tuned as we dive into the essential survival techniques you need to master for a desert adventure. Before setting foot in the desert, planning and preparedness are key. Picture this: you're about to embark on an adventure in a landscape that's as fascinating as it is formidable. The desert, a place where the sun reigns supreme and survival is a game of wit and will. But wait, before you strap on your boots, there's work to do. Research, planning, and preparedness are your best allies in this challenging terrain. Start by conducting thorough research. Understand the desert's nature, its climate, and its potential hazards. Is it a sandy desert or a rocky one? What wildlife calls it home? What are the temperature variations you can expect? Knowledge is power, and in the desert, it can mean the difference between a thrilling adventure and a dangerous ordeal. Next, create an emergency kit. This isn't your average first aid box, it's a lifeline. It should include essentials like water purification tablets, high-energy food bars, a compass, a multi-tool, a headlamp, and a space blanket. And don't forget a first aid kit with bandages, antiseptic wipes, and medication for common ailments. Remember, in the desert, every item in your kit is a potential lifesaver. Then, establish your communication strategies. In the vast expanses of the desert, staying connected is crucial. Satellite phones can be a good choice as they work in areas where regular mobile service may not. Flares and signal mirrors can also prove helpful in attracting attention in case of an emergency. Lastly, formulate a detailed plan. Outline your route, pinpoint potential water sources, and identify areas for shelter. Share this plan with someone who isn't part of the expedition. That way, if anything goes wrong, there's someone who knows where you are and where you're supposed to be. With a solid plan in place, you're ready to conquer the desert. But what about the actual survival techniques? Water and food, the lifeblood of survival. Let's discover how to secure these in the desert. When it comes to water, the desert might seem like an unlikely source, but it's there if you know how to find it. One technique is collecting dew. This may seem like a drop in the ocean, but every drop counts in the desert. Early in the morning, tie absorbent cloths around your ankles and walk through patches of undisturbed vegetation. The moisture from the dew will be absorbed into the cloth. Squeeze the collected water into a container, and voila! Another way to find water is by digging. Look for dry riverbeds or valleys. They often have water just beneath the surface. Dig a hole about 1 foot deep and wait. If water starts to seep in, you're in luck. Now let's talk about food. The desert might seem barren, but it's teeming with potential meals if you know where to look. Insects, for instance, are an excellent source of protein. They're abundant and easy to catch. Just remember to cook them first to kill any potential parasites. Plants can also offer sustenance. The prickly pear cactus, for example, bears fruit that's high in water content and vitamins. But remember, not all plants are safe to consume. Some can be poisonous, so it's crucial to know what's edible and what's not. Hunting larger wildlife is another option, but it requires skill and energy. It's also important to remember that hunting should be a last resort. Your energy is precious, and the desert is a harsh environment. Lastly, consider packing some emergency food rations. They're lightweight, don't take up much space, and can provide essential calories if you're unable to find food. Now that we've covered the basics of food and water, let's talk about shelter. Scene script: shelter can mean the difference between life and death. Here's how to build one in the desert. The desert is a land of extremes, scorching hot during the day and freezing cold at night. A shelter serves as your defense against these harsh conditions, providing shade from the relentless sun and insulation from the bitter cold. Firstly, let's discuss location. You'll want to choose a spot that's slightly elevated and away from dry riverbeds known as wadis, as flash floods can occur unexpectedly. A north-facing slope is ideal because it'll provide much-needed shade during the hottest part of the day. Now, onto the building phase. Your shelter should be simple and quick to construct. Time is of the essence in the desert, and you don't want to waste precious energy on an elaborate design. A basic lean-to or A-frame structure will suffice. To build a lean-to, you'll need a long, sturdy branch to serve as the ridgepole. Prop this pole up at an angle against a natural support like a rock or a dune. Then lean smaller branches or debris against the ridgepole to form a sloping roof. If you have a tarp or a space blanket, this can be used as a cover for additional protection. For an A-frame shelter, two shorter branches can be tied together at one end to form an A shape. A ridgepole is then laid across the top of the A and covered with branches or debris. In both cases, insulate the inside of the shelter with sand to provide a barrier against the cold desert night. And remember, your shelter should be just big enough for you to crawl into. A smaller space is easier to warm with body heat. Lastly, always ensure that your shelter is visible from a distance. This is crucial for rescue purposes. You can create a signal by placing brightly colored items or by creating contrast with the surrounding environment. With a shelter in place, you're well on your way to surviving the desert, but there's more to learn. Gear up. Essential equipment can make your desert survival mission easier. Now, let's talk about some of the necessary gear you'll need to conquer the vast expanse of the desert. First and foremost, sun protection is vital. A wide-brimmed hat, sunglasses, and sunblock will shield you from the scorching sun and prevent heat-related illnesses. Lightweight, loose-fitting, and breathable clothing in light colors is also essential to reflect heat and provide insulation. Hydration is paramount in the desert. Always carry a durable water container and consider investing in a portable water purifier or filtration tablets for emergencies. Having a hydration pack is also beneficial. Navigation aids such as a compass, a map, and a GPS device can be lifesavers. They'll help you maintain your bearings and prevent you from getting lost in the seemingly endless sands. Equipped with the right gear, you're ready to take on the desert. But remember, knowledge is your best tool. Surviving the desert is no easy feat, but with these techniques, you're ready to take on the challenge. We've journeyed together through the essentials of desert survival, starting with the critical importance of planning and preparedness. Remember, a well-thought-out strategy is your first line of defense against the harsh desert conditions. We explored the art of finding food and water in a seemingly barren landscape, unveiling the secrets of nature that hide these life-saving resources. We then delved into the specifics of building a sturdy shelter, a sanctuary against the scorching sun and biting cold of the desert nights. And of course, we examined the essential gear and equipment, your survival toolbox that can make the difference between a challenging adventure and a perilous ordeal. Remember, the desert is a formidable foe, but with the right knowledge and preparation, you can master the ultimate adventure. Thanks for joining us, and stay safe on your desert expedition.